What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be going through the best meta midfielders in FC24. So we're going to start off, as always, with the low category and work our way up to the top. So if you find one that you like in a category, let me know down below. Who are you using and who do you want to get? So in terms of the low of low, I feel like the midfielders now are in a certain sort of caliber. We don't really see too many kind of 10, 20Ks. There is obviously evolutions that there is far too many for me to cover. If I was to kind of pick two, I'd say the Tchouaméni, who I think could go to 87 or 88, and also Llorente, that one did cost a lot, and obviously that one went to 87 as well. But other than that, I wouldn't really be able to go with many. So we are looking at very low categories here. We've got a lot of 26 all the way up to 112k, give or take, on an SBC. We have got Bellingham, who most definitely is still a viable option. I must admit, I cannot wait for Bellingham to have even better stats, because he doesn't look that impressive on the base card, most definitely. Obviously, the base is like 10, 20k now, so we're going up for the inform at 74, and also there is Trailblazers and obviously Player of the Months as well if you wanted him. But I do think he is a very good box-to-box nonetheless. A 4-star, and works his magic in the midfield with some very good links as well. Milinkovic-Savic he's one that's going to be great for the future, and naturally if we does get upgraded as well, that would be even better, because we are going to see a lot of Saudi special cards. We've already saw quite a few from the radioactive and naturally throughout some of these promos. With the likes of Neymar, Ronaldo all being in the league, then they're bound to get special cards. Same with Benzema. They are always going to get a flashback, an out of performance based one at the very minimum. So they are always in good hands and has always got the options of links. Joel Linton, we've got Bernardo Silva, Caicedo, Szoboszlai. Again, not necessarily the top of the top in their category, but I do think solid cards nonetheless. I believe Bernardo Silva still needs one more match to be able to get that upgrade, but it is, I think, against Luton is his next match, so should hopefully be able to see that 91, and I think Joel Linton needs one more as well. Then we obviously have a few golds, nothing too crazy, but we are starting to get a very good Barca Liga F team. Obviously Bonmati's got a couple of specials. Petria I don't think has too many, but Putellas does, Hansen does, you've got Rolfo, Usharla's up front, I believe, with a radioactive as well, so there is a nice little kind of team coming together there. And KDB again does have a special card that is, I think, over 600,000, but he's there at a very minimum with a 5-star weak foot if you wanted more of kind of an attacking midfielder as well as a CDM. If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. We then move into a slightly higher budget. Valverde's gold is finally here at 130. I think this is a phenomenal card. He's got an inform and a radioactive as well that obviously are a little bit more priced, but most definitely there's a reason why he's so expensive as a gold. He's got the pace, the stats literally across the board, all 80 and above, which is magnificent. And I cannot wait to see a team of the season of this one, because he's going to be very, very high statted. We then see some of the cams, Bruno, Schneider. If we move up, Socrates, Talisca, JJ, and then also Musiala has the cam as his normal position. All of them do offer very decent stats. I was a big fan of Schneider with his 4.5. Obviously does have a UCL hero coming soon, but we haven't got any prices of them, so it's very hard to include them if I don't know the prices. And obviously I've not really played with too many of them, so we can't really kind of give a gist there. Bruno, a nice card, but I wouldn't say he's kind of my number one in there. We use his inform at the moment, and decent passing. He's got the incisive plus, but he's not necessarily my end game sort of cam centre mid. I do need somebody with a little bit more flair on the team. Musiala looks like he has a very, very good card with a 5.4. Technical on his playstyle plus. I don't even know what I would actually want on my cam, other than maybe you either go with the kind of pacier ones, you go with maybe a Travella or something just for outside of the box. Could even argue a power shot potential, but depends on their shooting as well. Talisca's absolutely rapid at 6'2", incredible, and I think JJ is, 5'4" as well, who again is waiting for upgrades, which would be very nice. We do have then the Pedris of the world. Nice box to box really. Nothing too crazy on him. Obviously the shadow is going to help out massively with a big pace increase and also some defending. but I do think, again, he's another one like a kind of Valverde that in the future, in kind of like a few upgrades, he should start to even out with 80s above everything. Zanetti, always a great icon option. I think as a right back, he's wasted. I like him as a CDM. He's got decent amount of pace, 5'10", so a decent height, 4-star weak foot, good physical, and defending is absolutely on top. So for me, he is always a better option in that CDM. Same as Grace, I'm starting to see a less and less now. Obviously, the gold card was very, very just meta but cheap, and I feel like a lot of people did use her for quite some time, but she is starting to come out of teams most definitely. And then Phillips is always worth a mention just because he can be upgraded, so it will be interesting to see and follow Tex's journey in the FC Open to see where Phillips actually ends up. Now we're on to this sort of mid sort of pricing. This is probably where I'd say I see a lot of people's midfields, and to be honest, it is not necessarily out of buying the card. Normally it's an icon and a hero, naturally from the 2 player packs or player picks that we've got for both of them, that you just find that they've managed to pack a Hullet and they've got a Player of the Month Bellingham. It is a great combination to get somebody packed that you don't have to spend the 2 million coins on. But in terms of kind of centre mids, Marquisio, nice option, always good when he does get the upgrade, and it's I think the same thing with every hero and icon. Naturally, when they do get the upgrade, that is going to be where we kind of really are wanting the card to go, and hopefully we do get a lot of campaigns going forward. When we do have someone like Makalele, I was a little bit disappointed with the Centurions at times, because I think even though, yes, it is an upgrade, it's really not as well. It's just an inform, and you've got 490k versus 270. 3-star, 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 same playstyle plus. Even if they add an extra playstyle, I don't think it's going to be worth an extra 220,000 coins. So realistically, you are just paying for the pretty sick card design. Like, obviously, that is pretty sick. And then obviously a dynamic image. But for me, I would 100% just go with the normal version. And to be honest, that is the same for quite a lot of the cards, really. So it is just one of them. We do have then Essien and Desai. Both very good CDMs. Desai very much like Zanetti. I much prefer him in that sort of CDM role rather than necessarily a centre-back. Even if it does work, CDM's definitely the way for him. We then have Modric and De Jong, Barca and Real Madrid. De Jong's got 1 day left, so if you are watching this on day 1 of the release, he has only got the last, I think, 6 PM to get him done, or at least by the next day. Very good card. I just think with where he kind of came out, and obviously the Mbappe grind that personally I was doing, it was not plausible. He's a lovely card, and I think most definitely he can be in people's teams for quite some time, but I just don't see the worth when we had so many SBCs going around him. Modric, more of a passing sort of card, very much like a Bruno, a Bernardo, a kind of KDB aspect, but he does have a bit more defending, which is always what people want, and 319k for a 93 centre mid, as well with that Travella, is not a terrible offer, to be honest. Fekir, to be honest, I actually really liked Fekir. We managed to do a review on him a while back now, and he had an absolutely superb left foot. As always, he's got the Travella Plus, so left-hand side across goal is always going to be nice. They have nerfed Finesse Shot Plus, so Travella is kind of the only one we've got left. Little bit harder if you don't know the full animation of kind of where to shoot, the angle, the power, but it is very broken if you can get it in that spot. We then have the Bonmati and Putellas link up, both 91 centimeters, 447 for the gold version. She has got a Nike promo, but that really doesn't count. It's more expensive, and it is the exact same rating, if I ever speak. But in terms of the pairing, very, very nice. And like I say, the Liga F Barca team is looking fantastic. Trailblazer Hansen, you've got Radioactive Ushala. I believe you could put the Evolutions, I want to say it's Ona or Honor, in the right back role for an 89 or 88. You then have Rolfo. I don't think the centre backs are quite there. I know there is a couple of higher rated ones, but I don't think they are of a standard in terms of this team, but everybody else looks absolutely brilliant. And then we do have the gold inform Valverde at 428, a little bit more expensive. Again, bit of an upgrade. He's gone from the 88 to 89, but nothing too crazy. Now we are one step away from the absolute top of the top. I think this is, I'd happily take any of these cards. Genuinely, you would love these cards. They are between, I think, about 500 to about 2 mil, just under. And let's just start from them. So Ramirez, I believe is getting a UCL Heroes, which will be very nice. I don't think it's a massive upgrade for him, but most definitely we take anything from him. We have Yaya Toure as a normal hero at 809, and then his triple threat at 2.1 mil. Again, is there much difference? The problem is they've given him a playstyle plus, but it is press proven. It just isn't really worth it. I know there is no bad playstyle plus when he doesn't have one prior, so that is a good argument, but realistically you're paying for what? 2 pace, 1 shooting, 1 passing, 1 dribbling, 2 defending, and 1 physical. It's not a skill move upgrade, it's not a weak foot upgrade, it's a rubbish playstyle plus, and it is just, again, more of a different dynamic for the card. Again, you would always take the 2.1, but I'd absolutely take the 87 as well. We have then got Bellingham's Player of the Month, nice card that you can grind out. Again, it might not be your massive cup of tea, he is a 4-4, a little bit more of an upgrade, and naturally you can either take the gamble on this one and either hope or think that he is not going to get any more upgrades for a while, or you kind of come to the realization he is bound to get another special card that will be over this card in a matter of probably a month or two. We have got KDB, a 620 like I said. Maybe not necessarily my number 1 card that I'd go for at this sort of price, because I do like KDB as a very high card. At 92 to 94, it's just not quite up there in my opinion. The pace needs to be a bit more, needs a little bit more of a defending to kind of help him with that balance of not necessarily a true box-to-box, but at least more of a little bit better defensive box-to-box. We have got Pirlo's SBC that honestly feels like it's been there for centuries. I don't know if it's even gone yet or when it's meant to go. I can imagine it's got to be soon. It's gone. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that's still there. But 590 was his version. It's a nice card, but again, we're going to get upgrades, so I wouldn't say that you've missed out if you didn't really want to finish it. Balak, another one that I believe is there for a while. Obviously, that was only during Black Friday. That finishes on the 26th of December, so not too far away, to be fair. Boxing Day is when Balak's done. He's 520, so pretty much the same sort of price. I like the stats, it's pretty decent. He's got the power shot playstyle plus 4-4. It's a decent centre mid if you want to put some cards into it. We then also have Conte as a radioactive one that I actually forgot. That is, again, another link for Milinkovic in that Saudi league, which, again, is going to be a phenomenal team by the end of the game. I guarantee they probably have a promo based around themselves, to be honest. That's kind of what radioactive is. The fact that they've gone with nations, they've gone with leagues, even sometimes clubs that just don't get the links to be able to link them. Conte is not one of them just because he is French anyway, so there is more than enough links for him, but most definitely it always helps out if you are trying for the league. Then we have Sawa, 91 centre mid from Japan, 4-star again, decent box to box with stats that are very good throughout, to be honest. The only thing that's kind of letting her down is a bit of physicality, which again, I'm not terrible with. You add a little bit of a shadow or hunter, you've got yourself a beautiful centre mid there. And then we have Kaka, 710 for his base, 1.6 for his Thunderstruck. Again, you've got what? Rapid, 5-star, 4-star, 5-star, 4-star. You have got just a 1 upgrade, and again, nothing really to show for it. You've got 1 pace, 1 shooting, 1 passing, 1 dribbling as well. So literally, you've got 2 on defending and physical. I don't think that's worth 900,000 coins more. It's a good dynamic, and I like the Thunderstruck icons, but again, it all depends. If he gets the upgrade that I think he is with AC Milan, I'm pretty sure. But if he does get the upgrade, then yes, it's a double upgrade, so it might be worth a little bit. But that price has still got to come down dramatically. Like, I'm talking at least 1.3 to 1.4 for a double upgrade is more than suffice. Going 900k above, I know that it's technically a live card, so it will have a live price to it. So for instance, if I think he is with Milan, but say they do lose, the price more than likely drops dramatically, because we know a 1 upgrade is not necessarily worth 900,000 over the same card with 1 less pace. And then finally we have the best of the best. And literally anybody would take anyone on this list. So let's just run through the prices and we can kind of go through them. We have Bobby Charlton at 2-1. We have Zico at 2.5, Valverde at 2.3, Matthias 2.2. We have Vieira at 2.5, the upgraded Zico at 3.5, Neymar at 5.7. Wow. 4.6 for Pele. We have 4.7 for Hullet, 7 mil for his upgrade, and Zidane in his new promo, hopefully this weekend. Dynasty Zidane would be incredible, but 2.8 for his normal Cam 94. So a huge price bracket. Like, these are the best of the best at the minute, and naturally we're only going to get more and more cards as we find another Hullet card, a Dynasty Zidane, an upgraded Pele, Neymar, who I think has still got an upgrade to go. Let's have a quick look at him. But in terms of Neymar, just Neymar and Valverde, as they are the non-icons of the group, they are the best of the best. Like we said with Valverde, the pace, just the stats throughout. When he gets to eventually to that 95, 96 card, he is going to be absolutely wonderful. So we have got one more game to win, which will happen tomorrow on the 8th of December. If they win that, Neymar will go up his final inform to go to a 92. That is absolutely crazy. I wonder if, can I find Zico here as well? Zico is currently, thank God for Footbin making this list. I know there's a lot of trackers out there, but just makes life a hell of a lot easier not having to figure out what they've won or not. But the problem is, there is a lot of players on this list. This is absolutely crazy. So we find all the way down. Okay, we don't actually have Zico on here. So Zico is a Centurion, so he doesn't get upgraded. Fair enough. And I'm not going to look for Hullet either. That is just terrifyingly bad that I didn't see that. But in terms of kind of who you'd want out of this list, I think Hullet is always going to be a number one. I think either version as a centre mid is just jaw-dropping. I have seen him far too many times for my likings, and same for Matthias as well. Again, another great box to box. He's a bit more nimble than Hullet because naturally a little bit smaller. I think he's 5'9", Hullet 6'3". You will find Matthias to be that almost ankle biter that's just absolutely everywhere. So there is different kind of comparisons depending on how you want your centre mids. How I personally like to kind of go with the midfield is just a balanced 4-4-2. Obviously, in-game, I can change it if I need to attack or defend, but I like that CDM and a centre mid, or a centre mid slash cam, but they need to have some defensive ability. But having that solid CDM that stays in the middle is always going to be a great shout. I would say Hullet is more of a box-to-box, so I would be looking at someone like a Vieira, Matthias to do that sort of role. Maybe more Vieira than Matthias, because even then, Matthias is very good at getting up as well. But in terms of kind of these top end cards, you kind of notice that a lot of them are very attacking. You've got your Valverde, who again is great at a box to box, but Zidane is more of an attacker, Pele is, Zico is, Charlton is, Hullet can be, and Neymar is. So we know full well where the expense in a midfield's coming from. So if you kind of settle on a decent CDM slash box to box that could defend better, you have then potentially more money to go for this sort of lavish, sort of cam attacking sort of midfield. But let me know down below what is your midfield. Let me know down below who you want in the future, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.